Hello folks, today we are reviewing the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 Dimensity 1100 model. Yeah, not the Snapdragon version. I know that's the one that does the most in terms of performance, but I ended up getting this model for Christmas, and it actually works pretty well. So let's see if it's worth saving that extra 30 bucks to get something a little bit cheaper, or if you should maybe save your money for the Snapdragon version. I want to first get into the bread and butter of this device, which is the OLED screen. This is absolutely amazing. Look, I never really paid too much attention to OLED or AMOLED screens. Of course, I have one in my phone. I have an S21 Ultra, but man, did I did not know it was this good. All your 2D games, any 2D game that can run on here will look pixel perfect, color accuracy on point. Everything about the screen is just absolutely amazing, which was what pitted against other handhelds like the RP4 Pro and the RG Slide was just simply the OLED screen. It topples majority of handhelds out right now that are even more powerful than this handheld. That OLED screen is just so nice, and honestly is one of the only reasons why I bought this. Another thing is that 3DS emulation looks pretty great on here. Majority of games that I've tested run at 2x emulation or resolution, so yeah, I believe more demanding games will probably have to sit at 1x, but currently 2x resolution works perfectly fine. I get about, as you can see, 60 frames per second, and that's great. But there are a few dips in certain areas, especially in Super Mario 3D Land. But besides that, it's pretty good with 3DS emulation. If you're also looking for Wii and GameCube emulation, and also still want to save that 30 bucks, this version is also pretty alright at GameCube and Wii. It's actually running 2x on majority of games that I've tried out. I've tried Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I've tried, of course, as you can see, Super Mario Bros. Wii, as well as Sonic Colors, and they all ran perfectly fine at 2x resolution. This is also on the Play Store version, not on the MMJ version, which actually I will recommend that version of Dolphin rather than the Play Store version, because that one is made to run on lower end devices. But as you can see, it still runs at 2x resolution on the regular version, and that is with some downscaled visuals. But as you can see, that's 720p gaming right there. That's 720p GameCube and Wii. And while I haven't tried it out, PS2 also apparently works pretty well. Majority of games running at 1x rather than 2x, but it's still great. You won't have any slowdown with majority of the games, but there will be a few titles that may have more demanding visuals, so I would just watch out for those. I also want to say that Netflix games also run pretty well on here, majority of them as well. I've played Dead Cells for a few hours and some Sonic Mania, and it runs pretty great with controller support, so yeah. Right now you're looking at the most recent public build for Isu. Now I do have the tester build, but I don't think I can share that on YouTube. But yeah, this is the current public beta, and it works pretty well on here and looks pretty nice. So yeah. Another thing, if you're not too big on heavy emulation or you have a great backend computer, then I do 100% recommend streaming your games from your PC to a device like this. Right now I'm playing Miles Morales, and honestly, the visuals of that game streaming from my laptop screen to this, it looked better on my flip than on my laptop screen, which is absolutely crazy. That's simply because of the OLED screen. You get way more vibrant colors, just like I said, and with Wi-Fi 6, you're gonna get way better streaming than most of your devices. I definitely recommend this if you're just you just want to stream games, it looks great. Another game that I tried out was Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which I like to play with my dad and my brother. And I was playing this thing for about an hour or two with them, and it ran perfectly fine. I would just recommend putting your backend on Ethernet. That works for me all the time. Mine is running through a wireless access point, but still gets a stable connection between the game and my flip. So yeah, I actually stream way more than I used to, because at first I thought streaming was very wishy-washy, but once I got the flip, streaming from my laptop was actually kind of fun than streaming from my Steam Deck to my from my laptop to my Steam Deck. Yeah, it's way more fun on the RP Flip 2 because of that Wi-Fi 6, and it actually feels like it's running natively almost. It feels very seamless. Something that surprised me though was getting GameHub Lite on here and running PC games. While you won't get good performance on 3D titles, as you can see, I'm playing Ultra Kill because I don't have a lot of 2D games, and you can already see that it's struggling to get 30 FPS, but it can get it. In menus, it's obviously going to be stable, so that kind of shows that 2D games run perfectly fine on here. And I've also seen a lot of people try 2D games on similar hardware and it works pretty well. So I may make a separate video where I'm testing out GameHub games, because I believe there are games like Deltarune, Celeste, Stardew Valley. While they do have mobile ports, like I think Celeste and Stardew Valley have mobile ports, playing games like Deltarune and Terraria with their PC versions may interest you. I think that could be one of the ways of using GameHub. I know when it comes to playing GameHub on the Iron Thor or the RP5, you're playing more intensive 3D titles, but if you want to play some 2D smaller titles, then this actually works pretty fine. What I found with this handheld is that between the D1100 and the Snapdragon 865, which are the different processors in these two different models, it actually comes down to driver support. The two processors are very close in performance and power. It's simply that the Snapdragon has way more drivers, and the Mali GPU doesn't. It doesn't have as many, and the difference in power, while isn't a lot, does also contribute to as why the Dimensity 1100 version doesn't perform as well as the Snapdragon 865 version. But don't think it's a huge difference or a jump. It's simply because of the drivers. And so it comes down to, what do you want to play on this? Because if you want to play Switch and you want to play some more modern consoles like Wii U or even some GameHub, you'll have a better chance on the Snapdragon 865 version simply because better drivers. The Dimensity 1100 version is, I'll just say it is for the normies, so I'm not too mad about that. It's simply what you're willing to play on this device. Also, speakers on this thing are absolutely amazing. I've watched movies, I've watched TV shows on this, and it works pretty well for that. The buttons feel great, but they are quite loud. I wouldn't play this next to anybody. They might get annoyed, but face buttons are nice, D-pad is nice, and it's got mechanical shoulder buttons which feel very clicky. But yeah, besides that, that's my review of the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 Dimensity 1100 version or model. Will you be spending that extra $30 to get the Snapdragon version, or will you be saving $30 to get this version? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.